What up, book lovers? It is GSwiz here, and yes, we have another haul. The books just don't stop coming. So I'm filming this in advance because that's what I do with all my book hauls. I just film them in advance, and if I don't have a specific content idea that is related to the time, I will post a book haul. As I'm filming this right now, I have like around 2.5 book hauls pending to film. If you don't know, I actually compile a list of like 50 to 60 books that I've accumulated, and then I will put a pile together, and then I will film a book haul. And it has gotten out of hand. So I need to set a time to film these book hauls, but I just not have been filming these book hauls, especially when I'm getting all these special edition pre-orders coming in all at once, and then I'm seeing like $12 bargain books on Amazon. So yes, it might look like I had a spending spree all within a time, but because I have such a backlog of special edition books that I've like pre-ordered 2 to 12 months ago, it makes me look like I've had a spending spree all within this time, when really this was planned. But now they're all here, they've come in at a similar time, and I have to document this because a lot of you guys love seeing these book hauls, and I enjoy making them. I do enjoy looking back at the books that I was excited to purchase, and now they're here, and just like looking at these beauties, appreciating them. I love making content like this because I truly love to appreciate the books that I receive, especially because I love remembering the wonder I felt either when I first saw that they were going on sale or when I first unboxed these books. So yeah, can't wait to talk about them. I guess without further ado, let's get straight into this book haul. I've got some bargain books, I've got a lot of special editions in this one in particular today, so I'll be going through all those. So I'm gonna kick it off with My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I think a few books in this haul Camilo purchased for me, and this was definitely one of them. I wanted to purchase this one as soon as I saw the title and the cover, and as soon as I saw it in the store, I was like, oh my goodness, it's here. And then Camilo did his thing. He offered to purchase it for me, so now I have it. And I was gonna get the Fairy Loot special edition, but I had a lot of Fairy Loot editions to get to that month. I mean, as you can see, there are a lot of special editions on my shelf, and I need to prioritize. So I decided not to fork out money for the special edition and just get the standard edition. And I do like the colors on this one better. I mean, I do like the colors on the Fairy Loot edition. It's just the ombre is not doing it for me. But overall, I'm satisfied that I got a paperback of it. And the next book I have to mention is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I've actually read this one. I enjoyed it. It pretty much reminded me of Renegades, but we are following much older characters. Not much older characters. I mean, I believe Evie, who we're following, is like 22 or 23. Technically, it's a new adult age novel, but it feels like YA. There isn't necessarily anything that's extremely explicit at the moment. I mean, there's gory details, but that's pretty much all. It's a little bit creepy in that aspect. But I'm wondering if it is going to progress to something steamy, or if it's going to stay closed door. The series so far still hasn't fully developed the romantic relationship, but I'm looking forward to the next 2 books to see how we will go in that department. I am loving the build-up. This first book is essentially build-up, but it was enjoyable. And yes, this was indeed a $12 paperback. I could not pass that up. Speaking of $12 paperbacks, I have these 2 right here. The second 2 books in the Kings of Avalier series. I really love these 2 books, especially The Ruthless Fae King. This book is very good. This one was a 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, The Forbidden Wolf King was a 4 out of 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed it. And I seriously loved how everything tied together in this final book. Oh my goodness, I love this series so much. I did not love the first book. If you don't love the first book, I would encourage you to continue because it does get better and the romances do get much sweeter, especially The Ruthless Fae King. This book was so sweet. I got these for $12 and I'm very happy about that. And even more $12 paperbacks. I have the Broke and Beautiful series by Tessa Bailey, and what I can say about the Broken Beautiful series is that it was very enjoyable. It was very fun. I did like the first 2 books, but I loved the final book so much. I love Make Me. Make Me, I believe, got a 5 out of 5 stars from me, and then the other 2 books got like a 4 or a 3.5. I think the first book got a 3.5, the second book got a 4, and then this one got a 5. I really enjoyed these, and I will be revisiting these in the future because they were just very quick comfort reads for me. And yes, of course, we have at least one more $12 paperback in the stack today. I have Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I'm actually really happy that that it has the same spine structure as the first book, because I did mention in a previous haul that the second book, The Things We Hide from the Light, unfortunately had the title up here and the author down here, and I was afraid that the third book would match the second book and it would just be really weird. But I'm kind of living for the zigzag formation that the publisher had to think of last minute. But unfortunately, like almost every single one of Lucy Score's paperbacks have harmony when it comes to the way that their titles and authors are structured on their spines. So I'm wondering if Things We Hide from the Light will get a reprinting to keep that consistency. I'm excited to read the series. I initially was going to purchase the Fairy Loot special edition of the first book. Well, I actually just wanted to see the Fairy Loot set altogether, but Fairy Loot decided to just do the first book and then do the other books later. I don't like that. I remember doing the Fairy Loot customer satisfaction survey, and they had brought up that they were wanting to do the Knock 'em Out series, and so I was anticipating a full set from Fairy Loot, but turns out they decided to just do like book one. And book one, I didn't really like the colors on the cover anyway. So I'm really satisfied with the paperbacks once again. As much as I want to get special editions of everything, I have to consider how I feel about the original edition compared to the special edition that's coming out for them, and that is what I considered when picking the rest of the paperbacks in this series up. So I'm really happy I have this book, and I cannot wait to read the series. I'm planning to binge it. And the next book I have to mention in my haul today is Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and this isn't just like a standard edition of Wildfire, it's signed. I have a signed copy of Wildfire, and I am so happy I have this. I love Hannah Grace. I loved Icebreaker so much, and this honestly just made my year. And the next book I have to mention in my haul today is Talk Santa to Me by Linda Urban. I wanted to pick this up because I wanted more holiday romances on my shelves, and yeah, I have one. And it's pretty. Hopefully my ring light is not too bright. I'm gonna turn my ring light down a little bit. Yeah. Love that. And the next book I have to haul today is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Holley. I talked about this in my paranormal romance TBR, like the books that I wanted to read that just so happened to be a cozy paranormal romance. And this right here is a cozy paranormal romance that I've wanted to get to for quite some time. I've been eyeing it in bookstores, and Camilo finally caved and was like, okay, do you want it? He got it for me. Yeah, such an amazing husband. And additionally, he also got the next two books for me. Camilo got me Eyes on Me and Give Me More by Sarah Kate. These are the traditionally published paperbacks of the second and third books in the Salacious Players Club. They are both out now, and I'm just so happy to have them. I really love the color scheme of these. I mean, I understand that people prefer the guys on the covers, and look, I mean, I'm not saying that these covers are perfect. I do love Eyes on Me because I do love the green gem. I'm not really a huge fan of the Give Me More cover. I think that they could have done more with this one. However, I am appreciating the red rope because I just love the bright colors. I don't love these covers, but I appreciate them, and I do like having color on my shelves, so I really like the fact that these have colors. I'm really happy I have these. I'm now officially halfway through collecting the Salacious Players Club on my shelves now. And the next book I have to haul is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I am so happy I have the hardback edition of this book because getting it was difficult. So I initially purchased this book off of Amazon, and it actually went down in price dramatically. So it went down to a $13 hardback, which is unheard of. I mean, like $12 paperbacks are a bargain here in Australia. So the fact that this went down to a $13 hardback was wild, but it did. And then when I opened the package of what I thought was The Afterlife of Holly Chase, I ended up getting a hardback of A Gentleman in Moscow instead, which is a popular book. I know that, but it was not The Afterlife of Holly Chase. So I reported that to Amazon. I was scared that this book increased in price, but turns out it stayed the same price. So I ordered it again, and turns out second time was the charm. I have The Afterlife of Holly Chase now in hardback, and I've read this book. I enjoyed it, and it was a very good, hard-hitting but heartwarming read. And the next couple of books I have to mention in this haul today are the independently published editions of The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King and Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. So when I think about it, I don't think that Six Scorched Roses is gonna go out of print in this hardback. I could be wrong though. I don't know if the publishers actually picked this hardback up to be part of the series, but I mean, regardless, I'm really happy I have this one. It's not rare, but I do appreciate the beautiful naked hardback. It's very pretty. However, in terms of the Serpent and the Wings of Night, or at least the Night Duet, these editions are now out of print. I specifically remember as soon as this book series was announced to be picked up by a publisher, I immediately purchased these hardbacks or at least the hardback of the second book, because I did already have the hardback of the first book, and I know that the rest of the series is not going to match in these hardbacks, but I would prefer to have the duet matching on my shelves than like just having one book. So I'm really happy I have these. Maybe eventually, as soon as I get the traditionally published hardback, I might take these dust jackets off and display these with the naked hardback designs on my shelves, because I love the naked hardback designs. I think that they're absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to read this series. As I'm filming this video right now, I've not yet read the series, but you know, I definitely have plans to. For those who love the series, I've got a surprise later on in this book haul as well. And it is seriously wild to think that just a few months ago, as I'm filming this video, that hardback was only worth $50 on Amazon. Now it's worth a lot. Like, I'm seeing people sell both books for like $400. Those hardbacks are rare now, and I'm really happy I jumped onto the opportunity of purchasing them as soon as they were announced to be going out of print. Now, I believe from this point forward, every book in this haul will either be an exclusive edition or a special edition of some sort, meaning that they're either an exclusive edition from a specific retailer or a special edition from a specific book box company. So let's dive in. I firstly have to mention the exclusive edition of Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Barnes & Noble. This is Jennifer L. Armentrout's newest release. Actually, no, yeah, there was a new release in the Flesh and Fire series, which, as I'm filming this video, I don't have. I kind of just did not update my billing details with Barnes & Noble, so I pre-ordered it, but Barnes & Noble canceled my order. I even tried updating my details, but for some reason it gave me a broken link, so that's not fun. Anyway, that's a side tangent, but right here I have this first book in a new series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I saw the red cover and I knew that I immediately needed to have it. It just matched the Blood and Ash aesthetic, except I think the unfortunate thing about this exclusive edition, or at least this edition, the US edition in particular, is that it's a demi hardback and the UK edition is a royal hardback. And I really wish that I could display them together on my shelves without it annoying me, but I cannot. So this edition of the book will be shelved with my demi hardbacks, and the other edition of this book that I will be mentioning later in this book haul, maybe I'll mention it next, that will be shelved with my royal hardbacks, and maybe even my stenciled edge shelf. And this right here is the Waterstones exclusive edition of Fall of Ruin and Wrath with these beautiful edges. And I really love these pages. I love how they are crystal-like, and yeah, they're just so pretty. I'm a happy camper with this. And speaking of Waterstones exclusive editions, I have the Waterstones exclusive signed edition of Her Radiant Curse by Elizabeth Lim. I love the colors on this cover so much, and I cannot wait to read this book. Yes, we have a signature from the author. It's not digital. That is a green pen, and I am happy. I'm in love with the special edition, and I'm really happy it matches my 6 Crimson Cranes set. And the next stack of books I have to mention in this haul today are the next 3 books in the Wicked Villain series, and I really love the cover for the Beast. Yeah, this right here is very saucy, very nice, very nice. I don't know if there's like not safe for work under, oh yeah, that's not safe for work, but what I will show you is this beautiful hardback. This is so pretty, and I am in love with the rose. This makes me so happy because I'm such a Beauty and the Beast fan, and I am in love with the rose symbol. Anything with the rose symbol on it, I will immediately want. I am honestly giving Camilo trouble at EB Games at the moment, because every single time I see a new Beauty and the Beast item drop at EB Games or Zing, I immediately start squealing, and I'm like, I want it so bad. I'm just really happy I have this edition of the Beast. I'm not gonna lie though, I am kind of cringing at the Sea Witch, and that's not necessarily just because I don't like this book and I don't like Ursa and Alaric, but Alaric looks very creepy on this cover. I'm not too sure if you guys can see it. Yeah, I don't like the way that he looks. I don't know, he's just giving me very creep vibes. But then again, I just don't like him in the book either way. I think that he's trash, honestly, and he should have been honest with Zuriel. And seriously, Ursa should have been as well. Anyway, I have a huge gripe about this book in particular. I really don't like it that much. However, I am happy to continue on with the collection. I do like this naked hardback. It is a very pretty naked hardback, and I think that the naked hardbacks in the second half of the series look somewhat better than the first one, so I'm honestly happy that they used a good range of colors for the series. And then finally we have Queen Takes Rose, which is a very polarizing book in the series. I actually personally enjoyed this final book in the series. I found it to be quite wholesome and sweet. I mean, there were moments that I was a little bit annoyed, and I think that the characters could have communicated with each other, but overall I was happy with the note that the series left off on. But honestly, I do reckon that the series peaked at A Worthy Opponent and The Beast personally. The middle 2 books are the best books in the series. in my opinion. I'm gonna show you the beautiful naked hardback for this one as well. So pretty, so gorgeous. Yeah, once again, a rose. I love myself some roses. So overall, I am satisfied that I have another full set of the Wicked Villain series. I'm not gonna lie though, my favorite set of the Wicked Villain series that I have on my shelf are the standard hardbacks. I just really love the art on those ones. I even love the art of the Sea Witch on those ones as well, and that art made me want to read the series. And the next book I have to mention in my haul today is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston in the beautiful Fairy Loot exclusive edition. Look at how beautiful this cover is. As soon as I saw that the original cover was going to be like a yellow, I wasn't a big fan of it, especially because Dead Romantics standard edition was already orange. So I saw the covers and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, they just don't give me very fun colors together. And you know what, I honestly reckon I just prefer what Fairy Loot have done with the series. I love the cool blue color that we have for the Dead Romantics, and here we've got a very pretty pink, and it works very well with the green foiling. And then here we've got a very beautiful digitally printed edge, and then we have a signature from the author, which is always exciting. And then underneath the dust jacket, we've got this very beautiful naked hardback. It is just so pretty. Let me show you the spread. I have heard amazing things about this book. I'm hearing that this is one of the best romance novels that some of my favorite romance readers here on this platform have ever read, and that is honestly making me so excited, because as much as I loved the Dead Romantics, I am thrilled to hear that the 7-Year Slip is better, and I can't wait to read this book. I'm so excited. I have high expectations for it. I need to manage them. I really hope I enjoy it just as much as everyone else is at the moment. And the next book I have to mention in this haul today is Guardians of Dawn Jara by S.J. Jones. This is a Illumicrate special edition. This was a monthly book pick, and I'm so happy to have this edition in particular, and not just because of its pretty outside packaging, but its pretty inside packaging. Let me show you this beautiful hardback. Oh my goodness, I am in love. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, dang it. That is so gorgeous. I am in love, especially because this plays on a book that is in the actual book, a book within a book called The Maiden Who Was Loved by Death. It makes me want to read that original book so bad. I'm kind of hoping that S.J. Jones will write that book eventually, but I know that she will write the rest of the spin-offs in the Guardians of Dawn first. I did enjoy this book. It wasn't my favorite book. It's also signed. I seriously reckon that the pacing could have been worked on. It could have been a little bit faster. We could have had like 100 less pages, but overall, it was a very fun read, and I'm really happy I have this beautiful special edition on my shelves. And the next book I have to mention in my haul today is These Bitter Blooms by Emma Ham, the Bookish Books special edition. I am a little bit underwhelmed by the special edition, especially because I loved the original cover much better. So this actually is the design of the dust jacket, except I took the dust jacket off because it was like a darker pink maroony color. I did not like that color that much, and then when you had the reverse dust jacket, I don't know where I put my dust jacket at the moment. It just did not have like a close-up design of the characters, so I decided to just take it off. I do like this color, so I'll give it that. I do like the foiling. I will also give it that. And you know, the pages look very good. They look aligned, and the end pages look pretty cool. But I do prefer the original cover, and I think they could have done something with it, but unfortunately they did not. I am forever sad about that. And I understand that characters' faces aren't necessarily everyone's cup of tea. You know what? I don't like the US Belladonna covers. I mean, the first Belladonna cover I don't like, I think because it's just such an awkward angle, in my personal opinion. But the cover for These Bitter Blooms was very pretty, and I reckon that that cover could have been spotlighted, and maybe, I don't know, changed colorway or some enhancement would have done. I just feel as if this edition's a little bit underwhelming compared to the original, so I might grab the original if I like this book, of course. And another Bookish Books book pick of the month that I hauled within this period was Blood Orange by Karina Halley. I did use the reverse dust jacket art for this cover because I'm not the biggest fan of this cover right here. I mean, this cover looks okay. I do like it. I just kind of prefer the original edition of Blood Orange better, once again. I mean, look, what they did with this design was not too bad. I just kind of think that they could have played on the darkness a little bit more like the original cover does. I do like the end papers though. I think that this would have made a better front cover. I think that the colors on here would make more sense, and I think that's why I flipped the dust jacket over. This has a side tip-in, which, I mean, I'm getting used to. It's like really weird, but overall I'm pretty satisfied with this one either way. I do find that the guy who's on the back of the dust jacket, I get it, this is a Dracula reimagining, but yeah, I don't know, him with like all of that blood it's giving me the creeps, I'm not gonna lie. And the next monthly book I have to mention in this book haul today is Bonesmith by Nikki Palpretto. I have mentioned how I feel about the special edition previously. I don't really like half of the features on this special edition. This is creepy. I'm sorry, I don't care. This is creepy. It's too close. It's way too close. I mean, I think that if anything, they could have put the character stance like further away, but yeah, no, this is just way too close for comfort. I do love the end page art. I do also love the updated colorway on this edition, but I am not a fan of the placement, once again, of the reverse dust jacket. You can't see the arm or the sword as it like wraps around the cover. I do like this embossing. I think that that's really cool. And yeah, I think I'm really 50-50 about this edition. I am seeing this edition sell in Facebook pages for like $10, and I don't think everyone wants this specific edition of this book. But you know what? I'm gonna give this book a try either way. I am planning to read this one sometime. But overall, in my personal opinion, I think that Fairy Loot could have customized this edition much better. This is not the quality I signed up for. And the next Fairy Loot monthly book pick I have to mention in this haul today is Forged by Blood by Egbor Åkesson. I actually read this book and I really like it, and I actually like the customization here. I know not everybody likes this, but I actually really like this. I like the placement of it, and I reckon that this works for these pages specifically. I don't think that the Bonesmith pages work at all. I think that this is beautiful, and I do love the customizations that Fairy Loot came up with for this beautiful edition. They did an excellent job with this one, and I am actually happy that I received this on the month I received the Bonesmith one. And the next Fairy Loot monthly book pick that I have to mention is If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. This is a very gorgeous hardback. It's so pretty. I really love the updated colorway here. I do like that the background is black, and it really highlights the beautiful colors displayed on this cover. And then we have some very beautiful digitally printed edges, and then we have some very beautiful end papers that are foiled. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this naked hardback is absolutely stunning, but so is the reverse dust jacket art. That is just so beautiful, and I love the back of this naked hardback as well. Overall, I think that Fairy Loot did an excellent job with this one, and I think this was a good special edition to make up for the fact that Bonesmith was like terrible the previous ones. I still have lost my faith in Fairy Loot a little bit based on Bonesmith, but I'm really happy I received this the month after because I was kind of relieved that I kept my subscription after that. And the final Fairy Loot monthly book pick that I will mention in this haul today is Son of Blood and Ruin by Mierli Larez. I am very pleased with this edition as well. I was a little taken aback by the fact that they actually completely changed the cover, but I still like this cover and I still love the spine and everything about this beautiful edition. I think that they did an excellent job with this beautiful edition. I also really love this reverse dust jacket art. I also love that this is double foiled on both sides. I think that they did an excellent job with this one. But then I have a special edition set from Fairy Loot. I have the first 3 books in the Study series by Maria V. Snyder. The books being Poison Study, Magic Study, and Fire Study, and I really love these editions. Let me show you. I love and adore these covers so much, and I'm not too sure if I mentioned this. I think I did actually mention this one. I actually had to get this edition replaced because my original edition did not have an aligned printing. This one is still slightly misaligned, but not as misaligned as the other one that I had. I do keep that one displayed like this, essentially. And I am honestly loving this beautiful naked hardback, and it was really difficult to decide whether or not to keep the dust jacket on or not. So I'm keeping the dust jackets on for my set, but I will display my misprinted hardback with that beautiful design. So pretty, so gorgeous. I'm so happy I have these because I pre-ordered these over a year ago and they showed up a year later. They're finally here. This is Magic Study. All of them are signed, by the way. They're all signed. And I'm seriously really happy about that because I'm very much used to digital signatures, and these ones are all physically signed. Check out Elena. She's so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love the art, and I also love the beautiful stenciled edge here. Finally, we have Fire Study. I can't wait to see what the rest of the set looks like because honestly, these books are just gorgeous, and I'm wondering if the next 3 books will top how these books look. And then we've got Valak. Oh my goodness, he's so gorgeous. I love him. And I also love how the naked hardback spines match the dust jacket spines as well. I cannot wait to reread this series eventually because I really enjoyed this book series, especially the first 3 books in the series. The first half of the series is the best half. I understand that not everyone loves the second half. The second half's okay, but I still appreciate the second half for what it is as well. Now I'll go into some Illumicrate special editions, and I have the Olivia Blake set with One for My Enemy and Masters of Death. I love these die cut covers. I especially love that these match Alone With You in the Ether. These are so pretty. Let me show you the beautiful stenciled edge, and then here the beautiful foiling. And I'm not too sure if these are signed. I don't think, no, yeah, they're digital signature. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Then here we've got another die cut cover, digital signature here, very beautiful edges, and then some very beautiful foiling. And overall, I'm satisfied. Out of the two, I've only read Masters of Death and I really loved it. I can't wait to get to one for my enemy. I have high expectations for this one, I'm not gonna lie. So I seriously cannot wait to get to one for my enemy and let you guys know how I go. I really hope I love it just as much as everyone else does. I'm just hearing really good things about it. I especially love how these are foiled, by the way. I mean, this is really cool. This one is like more matte, but this one's more shiny. And speaking of Olivia Blake, within this period, I also hold the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake in the beautiful Illumicrate special editions. Check this holographic foiling out. Check these pages out. Guys, get this. Physical signature. I'm not too sure if you guys can actually see that, but look, it's legit. It's not her digital signature. I really love the end page art in here. I love the beautiful naked hardback art. I don't love the Fairy Loot editions as much, but I remember that the Atlas 6 was the first Fairy Loot adult pick, so I did want to jump onto the subscription. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the Fairy Loot exclusive edition of the Atlas 6, but I'm seriously so happy and so honored to have gotten the Illumicrate special editions because these are magnificent, they're beautiful, they're everything I wanted in beautiful special editions of the series and more, and I'm just so happy I have these. These are my babies. I will protect them at all times. And the final Illumicrate special editions I have to mention in this haul today just so happen to be the Strange the Dreamer set that I got from Illumicrate. These are so pretty. First of all, check these edges out. They're gorgeous, and the rest of the features are magnificent. I did do an unboxing for these on my channel previously, but I'll just show you again. They're just so beautiful. I also love that there's text on the spine as well, and I think that all of these were digitally signed by the... Oh, no, that's a physical signature. That right there is a physical signature. Even though it looks like her digital signature, that's legit. I just also need to show this art piece off. I want to get this framed so bad. And then we have Muse of Nightmares, which has Laszlo Strange on the cover. He's so gorgeous, so magnificent. I am loving this art once again. And then let's look at the foiling. So pretty. This is definitely one of my favorite duets of all time, and I would definitely recommend it to those who haven't read it. It's a series I would recommend to everyone. Like, honestly, check that out. Once again, that is frame worthy. And in this book haul today, I have another Fake Crate exclusive edition set that I actually snatched up completely last minute. Yeah, I have the Spider's Mate set by Fake Crate. I initially thought that this set was not worth getting because the covers were a little bit too similar to the original. And then when I saw that they had beautiful naked hardback designs underneath the dust jackets, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I really missed out on this. Why did you reveal this after they sold out? So let me show you. First of all, we have Ensnared, which is the first book in the series. I do like this art style, but it is very similar to the original, where obviously there's a dark background and they're pretty much just like looking at each other. I also really love the holographic foiling on the pages. This was also something I did not expect from the set either, but I love the holographic foiling on this naked hardback. When I saw this naked hardback, I knew that this set had to be mine, but it was sold out. However, I ended up immediately snatching a set when Fake Crate did an Archives store restock, and it ended up going out of stock like within 5 minutes of me purchasing it. So this I snagged, and I'm really happy I did. Here there's also a discreet cover in case anyone wants a discreet cover for their monster romance books. I personally don't mind having the spider on the cover. I'm personally not an arachnophobe. Oh my goodness, it's also signed by Tiffany Roberts. It's signed by Tiffany and Robert. That's really cool. I was questioning like whether or not C.N. Crawford used the same signature all the time because they have one signature, but these guys have 2 signatures. That's pretty cool. And then the second book we have Enthralled. I really love this cover. I think this is my favorite cover out of all of them. I just love how the webs are surrounding them. And then we've got more holographic foiling once again. Yes, signed by Tiffany and Robert. And then we have once again a beautiful naked hardback. So pretty. I love that design so much. And then we have a discreet cover. And then finally, Bound is the third and final book in the series. So this is the cover. It's much chunkier than the other 2. It's also darker on this naked hardback. So gorgeous. And I am kind of liking that the black is taking over on the back, but there are also some crystals here as well. The spine's also very beautiful. And then once again, we've got a discreet dust jacket. Yes, I got 3 signed books by Tiffany Roberts. They are just one of my favorite author duos of all time. I'm seriously so honored and so grateful that I had the opportunity to snatch a beautiful special edition set by Tiffany Roberts, because Tiffany Roberts, they are definitely a favorite writing author duo of mine. I will never not be happy about this. And now I'm going to move on to some Bookish Box exclusive edition sets, and I'm going to start off with the Kingdom of Runes series by Audrey Gray. This is a 4-book set. I actually don't know when the 5th book's going to come come out. I don't know if Audrey Gray is planning to release it in 2024 or not, but right now I have this beautiful set while I wait for book number 5. And this set is just so beautiful. I could not pass this up. Check that out. Look at that beautiful foiling underneath. Oh, so pretty. This naked hardback is so pretty, but so is the beautiful reverse dust jacket art. That is so gorgeous. Yeah, the Bookish Box did an excellent job with the set. I believe that I might have a signed, yep, I have a signed edition. That's very nice. I did meet Audrey Gray at Babe 2023, and that was honestly such a great experience. She was very lovely, and I do have my original edition signed, but I'm really happy that I have this beautiful special edition set. The second book is Cursebreaker. I really love this beautiful cover. It's so gorgeous. And then once again, we've got some really cool page stenciling there. We've got some really cool end pages, and then underneath here we've got another beautiful naked hardback with some excellent foiling. I really love how shiny this foiling is, and I also really love this beautiful reverse dust jacket. It's so gorgeous. I'm so tempted to display them the other way, but I'm gonna take turns with this set. And then next we have Kingmaker. I think this is my favorite cover out of the 4 books that I've received. I really love the green and the pink together. I also love the beautiful green stenciled edges. I love these pink end pages. I think that this is a very good change up from the other ones. And then once again, a beautiful naked foiled hardback. So pretty. And then, oh my goodness, I love this beautiful reverse dust jacket. This is gorgeous. I love the pink on this one specifically. I think I love this one because I love the pink on it. And the 4th and final book in the set is Lightsinger. This is such a beautiful purple and orange cover. There's like some orange hues. I really love the blend of purple and orange here. I love the purple here as well on the pages. This end page art as well. And then we've got a beautiful naked hardback. Once again, I'm loving the rose gold. The usage of rose gold for this set is just working magnificently. This is just so pretty. Once again, we have a very beautiful reverse dust jacket, and I cannot wait to see how book 5 will turn out. I'm really hoping that Audrey releases book 5 sometime in 2024. I'm not sure about it. I know she wants the book to be perfect, but at this point, a lot of the fandom are a little bit skeptical as to whether or not she will ever finish the series. And yes, I seriously do want to read this book series eventually, but I don't want to read it unless I know that book 5 is coming out for sure, because I'm hearing that the cliffhanger in Lightsinger is painful, and I don't want to experience that without knowing that the series is going to end. And speaking of painful cliffhangers, the reason why I have not yet picked up Fortuna Sworn is because I'm hearing that the cliffhangers for the series are painful, and I'm waiting until the series is close to being finished. But I have the beautiful Bookish Box exclusive editions. Look at all those pages together. Just look at all of them. They're just so gorgeous. So I actually unboxed these while I was at work. I actually got these sent to my work PO box, and every one of my work colleagues were in love. First of all, I have Fortuna Sworn. This is such a beautifully designed cover, and I'm also very much appreciating the stained glass aesthetic on the pages and the end pages. Look at that. And on the naked hardback, we've got some beautiful character art of Fortuna herself, and on the reverse dust jacket we have the same design of Fortuna, but you know, just like colored in. And then we've got some mysterious character. I really don't know who these characters are. I just know that there's some sort of weird love triangle, so I'm a little bit suspicious of this dude. At this point, I'm suspicious of this dude. I think there's another guy that's going to be represented on one of the other covers. I'm not too sure if this is the guy I'm meant to be suspicious of or the other guy. This is signed as well. I believe that Fortuna Sworn happens to be the favorite series of the Bookish Box CEO, so she really wanted to do the series, and I'm really happy that the Bookish Box did put some beautiful care into the set because it is gorgeous. I could not pass these up. But yes, I shall now show you book number 2, which is Restless Slumber. I think book 2 is Restless Slumber. These do not have numbers on the spines, but what I do know is that Beautiful Nightmares is book number 4, especially because of how chunky it is. But some more stained glass aesthetic there, and then we've got, oh, by the way, there's also some art at the back as well. And then we've got that stained glass aesthetic continued on in the beautiful end pages. And then we have a beautiful naked hardback with Fortuna again. And then here we've got a beautiful reverse dust jacket. I think eventually I'm gonna also take turns with this set. Once again, I absolutely love that the Bookish Box brought the best to the set, and I couldn't be happier. The next book in the series is Deadly Dreams, and I do like the colors on this one. I especially love these pages. I think this right here has to be my favorite page design. And then then we've got some beautiful end pages to match. And then underneath the dust jacket, once again, this beautiful naked hardback showing Fortuna. And then we've got this beautiful reverse dust jacket art once again. And finally, we have Beautiful Nightmares, which just so happens to be the chunkiest book in the series so far. I honestly don't know whether or not books 5 and 6 will be sold together or separately, but I'm just excited to have the rest of the books on my shelves because this set is just gorgeous. I think I need to display them pages out because as much as I do appreciate the spines, I think that the spines aren't doing the set justice. So I might just start displaying them pages out. Oh my goodness, dragons, so pretty. And then we've got a beautiful naked hardback with Fortuna once again. And then here we've got a beautiful reverse dust jacket with Fortuna and 2 other guys. I really don't know who her love interest is, but I'm willing to find out eventually. I'm just excited for the series to get closer to the conclusion so I at least know who the endgame ship is, because I'm hearing that people feel 50-50 about who to ship Fortuna with, and it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, look, I don't mind if it goes in a why choose situation. I would actually appreciate if it went into a why choose situation, because if you have a character with multiple love interests and you keep that going throughout the rest of the series, I'd personally say it'd be ridiculous and pointless if you didn't go that route, but I mean, that's just me. That's my personal opinion. So honestly, I just want to see how the reviews are for like books 5 and 6. Non-spoilery, but just kind of like giving me a heads up of what to expect. And then I'm looking forward to starting and continuing on with the series. But at the moment, I'm just really intimidated to get started with it. But I needed to jump onto the opportunity of purchasing the beautiful special editions for Fortuna Sworn. And the final Bookish Box exclusive edition set that I have to hold today is the Fate and Flame series, or at least the first 2 books in the Fate and Flame series. I have a Fate of Wrath and Flame and then a Curse of Blood and Stone. And I have pre-ordered the 3rd book, but you know what's so annoying about the 3rd book, right? Okay, so the first 2 books were open to be on sale for everyone, but the 3rd book, I think after the author got picked up by Penguin and stuff, they specified to the Bookish Box that the 3rd book needed to be US only, which bugged me. So I had to get that sent to a US address in order to purchase it. So like, it just annoys me because that gives me a little bit more anxiety and the cost is just a bit too much, you know? But overall, I'm really happy that I have these first 2 books and I can't wait to receive the 3rd one. The pages are pretty and I love how the end page art kind of replicates what's on the pages. And underneath the dust jacket, we have the same design. However, the reverse dust jacket has a beautiful design that you can switch over to. And once again, I'm thinking of alternating between covers because this is just so pretty. And then secondly, we have A Curse of Blood and Stone. I love this cover. I especially love the red hues on this cover. I don't know, I just really love roses personally. Once again, beautiful end page art. Naked hardback is the same, but the reverse dust jacket is just so beautiful and has this very beautiful art style. Can't wait to receive the 3rd book and binge read the series. I don't know if this is a trilogy altogether. I really hope it is because I want to read this in 2024. And the final book subscription service that I will be unboxing from today is the Arcane Society. I have a full special edition set from them and I have a monthly set from them that I will be sharing. So right here I have the Arcane Society exclusive edition set of the Demigods of San Francisco series by K.F. Breene. Check out how beautiful these spines are, but also these pages. So pretty. I honestly cannot wait to read the series. It's so heavy, so I'm just going to show you the books individually. These are not dust jacketed hardbacks, they're all naked hardbacks, and the naked hardbacks look so pretty. I also very much appreciate the marbled end pages. I mean, it's giving us something different, which is nice. And I believe that the first books are signed by K.F. Breene. We did receive character art separately, but there's no character art in this exclusive edition set specifically. And the next book out of the bunch is Sin and Magic, which also has a very cool design as well. Once again, here's the marbled end page. I really like the color on this marbled end page. And then we also have a signature by K.F. Breene. Third book in the set is Sin and Salvation. I think this is my favorite color out of the bunch. I also very much love the design here. And then we've got some marbled action. Oh, I love that marble. I also very much love the pages on this one as well. This one is signed, but a different kind of tip-in page. The fourth book in the set is Sin and Spirit. I do love the daisies on this one. Very pretty color. And then the marbled end pages once again. Oh, okay. It's signed again. Maybe these ones are digital. The fifth book in the set is Sin and Lightning. I do love the lightning design on here, and I also like the pages. Oh, that looks less marbled. It looks like the sky. But yeah, interesting stuff. I think this is also the same digital signature as well. And then finally we have Sin and Surrender, which I would say this one is my favorite cover design. My favorite colored hardback was the Sin and Salvation one, but my favorite hardback design is Sin and Surrender, and I think it's because of the roses. Because once again, I definitely do have a preference, and roses roses are part of my preference. And then finally, once again, we have a beautiful marble design, and then finally we have another digital signature. I can't wait to read the series. I'm so pumped to read another series by KF Breene. I'm so pumped to have a special edition set by KF Breene on my shelves. I am expecting maybe 1 or 2 more in the near future. I am just honestly hoping that more book boxes do the Deliciously Dark Fairy Tales series by KF Breene, because that is my favorite series by KF Breene, and I kind of just want more than a couple sets of it. Man, I really need to start thinking about my shelf space. This is starting to become a big problem. But overall, I'm really happy that the Arcane Society did the first 2 books as a bi-monthly set, and then they did the add-on box, and I was able to show you the full set today. And last but certainly not least, the final special edition set I have to show off today is the Arcane Society exclusive editions of the Night Duet. I have The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. These are the reverse dust jackets for the set. Let me show you the original dust jacket. So right over here we have the original dust jacket without the art on the cover, but I preferred having this beautiful art on the cover. And here is the naked hardback. There was a little bit of controversy about this specific cover when people saw that this was the teaser. By the way, when the Arcane Society show us a teaser, they don't usually show us both covers, they only show us one cover, and so they showed Prince Rain, or I don't know what his name is, because at the point that I'm filming this video, I've not yet read this book. A lot of people are upset that Aurea, I believe that's what her name is, was not on the front cover, because the first book is in her POV, not in his POV. And also, this is a very funny comment. My colleague, who is absolutely obsessed with this book, looked at this cover and she was like, look, quality aside, isn't his waist snatched in the And yes, I'd say his waist is definitely snatched. He's in an awkward position, and I believe he has wings, so that's why it's a close-up position. There was just a lot of controversy surrounding this hardback in particular, and the Arcane Society decided that in order to appease the fans that were upset at this design, that they would do a beautiful dust jacket to add on, or at least not add on, it would be included. And additionally, the Arcane Society team decided to use the fan art on the art prints that they had commissioned for this bi-monthly box to create that beautiful reverse dust jacket, and I'm so happy that they did, because I really love that design. And you know what? In all honesty, I don't mind this cover. I just think that it should have been the cover of book number 2, personally, but I'm really happy that they did give us an alternative cover. Here are the end pages, so pretty, and then we have a signature by Carissa Broadbent. I'm so happy that we have that, especially because Carissa Broadbent is one of my favorite authors. And then we have the second book, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, the beautiful Arcane Society exclusive edition. Once again, we've got some beautiful pages there. I'm not too sure if this book's also signed. I think this one has a digital signature, because both signatures are a little bit different from each other, maybe. I'm not too sure. And then this right here, I believe, should have been cover number 1. I feel as if having this art on The Serpent and the Wings of Night rather than The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King would have saved all the hate comments in the Facebook page. I don't know why. I think maybe not everyone would like this design either, but I really love this design, and I think that this is absolutely gorgeous, and I do also very much appreciate the reverse dust jacket, and that's why I'm really happy that they did come up with this reverse dust jacket art. I just really love this design personally, but I do love this art, and I think that this is gorgeous. I especially love the foiling on this naked hardback. Yeah, I think that the artist did a good job with this book in particular. I did hear the complaint a lot that everyone felt as if the artist did not read the book before actually illustrating the characters, and like, look, I totally get that criticism, especially because the illustration of Rain was on book number 1 rather than book number 2. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that the illustrations are bad. I just think that they were misplaced at the end of the day. But I am really happy that we got beautiful reverse dust jackets out of it. So even though I don't feel okay with the hate that was being sent the way of the Arcane Society, I mean, yes, obviously constructive criticism was given, but there were some pretty aggressive comments in the mix as well. I am happy that the Arcane Society listened to that feedback and they decided to do something about it, and they decided to do this. They also decided to let people unskip as well when they revealed that there was going to be an alternative dust jacket. Overall, I'm very much pleased with what the Arcane Society did with this set, and yes, it was a bit controversial at the time, but overall, I'm really happy the Arcane Society did everything that they could to make sure that this set was perfect. At the moment, this set is currently going for like $400 to $500 in resale price, so that's saying a lot. That's saying something. So I guess it's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you happen to stay to the end of the video, leave me the book stack emoji, because we do that for book hauls here. And if you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at gswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. And finally, I'm at TikTok. I'm at gswizzle on TikTok if you want to follow me there for some bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.